It looks like it has begun, except that it won't pick up my webcam. So hello. We're gonna take a few minutes just to kind of settle in here. Um, that's funny. Hello. Let me know if you're in the comments here. Say hi. Um, I'm not even sure if my microphone is set up. You can hear me, right? Hello, new here. Let me know if you can hear me. And I say yes. Okay, you can hear me. Good. I'm hoping. I don't even know if it's through. I jumped on so fast today. And because of that, I want to ground myself down because I can just feel, that energy. So let's all do it together. Let's just like feet down, flat on the ground, 90 degrees, in your knees, in your hips if you can, and take a big breath in through your nose, out through your nose. Nice. Now, before we begin, I would just want to chat. I just want to say hi and actually just do like a normal live and check in with you that way because um, I found that in the past, doing lives in the past, um, I'll run through all the things that I want to give you, like the value that I want to bring you. I want to answer that big question for you. And then I am so nervous about the live itself and the technology of it that I run through it super quick and then I end the live stream. But I miss a huge opportunity to connect with you actually sitting with me here now. So I can see you now in the comments, and I want to just say hi and ask you, what platform do you connect with me the most on? Would that be YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, the Sarah Beth Yoga app, Sarah Beth Yoga community, Facebook community page? That's part of like the app. So let me know in the comments what platform you connect with me most on. And I'm not sure if you noticed this because we're all living our own lives. I'm seeing lots of Instagram, YouTube, app, YouTube. Brittany already feels taller, already 6 feet tall. Yeah, Brittany, let's keep growing. YouTube, app, Instagram, YouTube, app, Instagram, YouTube. Awesome. Okay, so we're kind of all over the place. A lot of app, a lot of YouTube, a lot of Instagram. So I kind of pulled back over the last month, 6 weeks, probably 6 weeks, I think, after the book launch. So I launched my book, Trauma Alchemy, back in April, and it was massive. Like the campaign was huge. And it really kind of burnt me out socially. And so after that, I just kind of pulled back and got myself off of social media. So I stopped posting the stories. I was just less engaged. But as much as that's good to do to help like with mental health and like grounding and reminding yourself of like what's important and that like Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber is not part of your bubble and like none of that stuff actually exists until you log back into Instagram. It's like being shoved in your face again. As much as it's good to like pull back from all of that, it also decreases like my feeling of connection with you. And so to me, this live is an opportunity for us to feel that connection. Do you agree? Put a thumbs up in the comments if you agree. And with that in mind, I want to make sure that we actually have time for straight Q&A at the end of our what I wanted to give you today. So definitely think of your questions and save them for when I say, hey, it's time for Q&A, so that I don't have to like scroll through the comments. I can just say, it's time for Q&A. Give me your questions. You can put them in there. Oh, another reason, and this is weird, maybe TMI. Another reason that I pulled back from social media is I got this like really bad eye infection and all of my lashes. So I used to have eyelash extensions. All of them fell out. It was like over the course of like 5 or 6 weeks that this eye infection, my eyelashes, I was just like not feeling like I wanted to be on camera. But if you are interested or you're curious at what happens after that, I just use like an eyelash conditioner. I'm growing my own eyelashes out. And now look at that. We have eyelashes. I don't know if you can tell because I'm not even using like a good webcam. So again, TMI, you didn't need to know that, but here we are. So let's get into what we wanted to talk about today. And that is a question that I get a lot. So, how to get tone with yoga? That's what I'm answering today. But first, I just want to say hello and welcome. I'm Sarah Beth from Sarah Beth Yoga. I'm a wife and mother, an author, a yoga teacher, and I've had the pleasure of guiding over 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube and thousands of members in the Sarah Beth Yoga membership and app. And today I'm here to answer a question that many of you guys have actually asked me in maybe some of the same words as some different words, but can you get tone with yoga? And the answer is yes. But the important part of that is how. It's easier than you think with these 3 factors. So if you're taking notes, this is the time to take some notes. These are the 3 factors on how you can actually get tone with yoga. Number 1 is power yoga. So if you're familiar with my content, power yoga is everything with a pink thumbnail. So my videos are all color coordinated. Pink is power, teal is vinyasa, blue is hatha, and purple is restorative. And it kind of goes in that level of energy levels too. Like power yoga is the most energy. Vinyasa yoga is a lot of energy. You're flowing, you're moving your body. Hatha yoga is like not that much energy. You could do it forever. It feels great. It's like stretching, mobility. And the restorative yin yoga is low energy to no energy. It's still challenging though, more in your mind than in anything else. So power yoga is how you will get tone with yoga, because power yoga challenges your body. It challenges you to defy gravity using your own muscle, and it can make you stronger. But if you approach power yoga inappropriately, or by that I mean you go too hard, too fast into power yoga, you can definitely injure yourself. You can get strained. I mean, like your wrists. Let me know in the comments, have you felt injured or strained from power yoga before? And I can tell you, I have. I've been injured several times through power yoga just by pushing myself too hard, too fast. My elbow, my shoulders, my knees, my wrists, many times would be my wrists. And so I have a lot of content for you guys on how to approach power yoga with strong yogi hands so that you can have healthy wrists as you go. So the approach of power yoga is very important. I'll talk about that in a second. More importantly is power yoga, as I mentioned, it will help you defy gravity by pushing yourself against gravity. You're going to feel stronger. It's similar in like calisthenics almost, where you are holding up your own body weight and using your body weight and gravity to build muscle and to increase strength and stamina. And when you do it properly by not hyperextending through your joints and really gripping around your joints, you can even work on strengthening around the joints and supporting yourself for more graceful aging in the future. Power yoga can include some flow. So if you love vinyasa yoga, you love flowing, you love moving, you can also experience some of that in power yoga. Power yoga does typically sometimes have power yoga does typically have a Sun A and a Sun B series. And it's going to go heavy in the core. So you're going to get a lot of core work in there too. Some of the differences that I put into power yoga and vinyasa yoga is that your Sun A in power yoga is going to have a chaturanga built into it. Chaturanga is that high to low plank where your elbows graze your ribs as you slowly lower, and then you slowly go back up into your upward facing dog. Or if you're familiar with the beach bod series, you're going to push back into a high plank. So a high plank to low plank, to up dog, to low plank, to high plank. That's a crazy beach bod. That's like, let's challenge you. You're going to get really good upper body strength doing that type of power yoga. And that's really the idea of power yoga, is to strengthen you, to challenge you. There's levels of power yoga, and I think one of the problems here is that with YouTube, everything's available to you all the time. So you might stumble upon something and think, beach bod, that sounds fun, and click on that. Or because certain power yoga videos have better SEO than others, they're presented to you by YouTube before other ones are. And so you might be clicking on something that's like a level 2 power yoga video, like the beach bod videos. Those are intense. I personally wouldn't want to just jump on the mat right now and do that video. I'm not conditioned for it. But that's, I think, part of the problem here, is that so many of you have probably tried power yoga from what looks appealing or what's been presented to you, but you jumped into something that was a little too deep, like a little too far into the deep end of the pool. And so I want to tell you that I'll help you get into power yoga without throwing you into the deep end. There's a way to get you into power yoga, and a way to get you to like power yoga by having you first start in the shallows and like wade in the shallows. So that was factor number 1, is power yoga. And I'll continue to touch on that as we go. Factor number 2, and this should come as no surprise to you, is consistency. So the key to success lies in having a structured plan and sticking to it. You know that quote, failing to prepare is preparing to fail? Consistency is the most important part of your yoga practice. That's why I say that even 5 minutes a day is better for you than 1 hour once a week. Because 1 hour once a week might make you feel strong in that moment. It also might strain you, because that is a lot. But consistently hitting your mat, even if it's just for a couple of minutes every day, is going to help you build on your, almost like your hygiene practice of your strength, your flexibility, your mobility, your mindfulness. And so you definitely want to make sure that you are consistent. And that's why I think that having a structured plan can be the best way to be consistent, versus just trusting yourself that you're going to wake up every day and want to do all of those steps all over again. Opening up your YouTube app, figuring out which video you want to play, setting the video down and getting in your clothes and getting everything ready and making sure that video is exactly the length that you need it to be, because you have a meeting you need to be ready for in 15 minutes and da, da, da. Like all of that is that failing to prepare is preparing to fail. Having a structured plan, like following one of my free yoga challenges, or following just knowing that, like, all right, in order for me to do this, in order for me to jump into the shallow section and just wait around, I've got to do 5 minutes every day, or I've got to do 10 minutes every day. And just that plan can be enough to get you there. But not if that's where you stopped. Like if you didn't have the videos in front of you, I'm saying let's put it all together and create that structured plan so that you can actually be consistent in your practice. Have you guys read Atomic Habits? Let me know in the comments if you've read this book, because I loved this book. And some of the like feedback I've gotten that's negative about that book is that it's too basic. It's too like, I already knew that. But I feel like we need to remind ourselves some of the things that we've read before. Like you need the same message to be brought to you multiple times throughout your life with multiple voices saying it. And I think Atomic Habits was one of those things that when I listened to it, it was an audiobook, I thought, yes, this makes so much sense. In order to make my habits something that I'm actually going to stick to, make them atomic, I need to make them easy. I need to make them within my eyesight. I need to make them, and that's why I talk about like lay your mat out in a place where it's permanent in your home. Because that way it's your yoga space. That way you are removing the steps and the obstacles between you and your yoga practice. Find a calendar that you can follow. And that way you can remove all of those obstacles between you and your yoga practice. How else can you remove those obstacles? Go to bed in really comfy, stretchy clothes that you could also maybe do yoga in. There you go. Like you don't need to take all of these obstacles and all these steps just to do your yoga practice. And if you do, you might have a hard time with your consistency. So if you haven't read that book, or if it is on your list, definitely start listening to that one. It's such a good book. Even my 7-year-old started listening to it the other day, which was very surprising to me, but I was like, yes, yes. So let's talk about factor number 3, and that is progress. So remember how we said we need to jump into the shallow section together? Well, if you want to eventually learn how to swim, you need to actually work on having some progress, seeing some progress. That means that you might even have to challenge yourself in order to see progress. You can't just swim in the shallow section forever and think that you're going to be a good swimmer and somehow one day fall into the deep end and think that you're going to be okay. But there's a quote that I love, and I think some of you really need to hear this, and that is, don't confuse slow progress with no progress. You need to ease into it and then celebrate even the smallest wins. I mean, the first time that my kids went into their swimming lessons, we're still playing on the swimming analogy, but the first time that one of my kids started his swimming lessons, it was like, fear of even touching the water. And so that was the first like moment of progress. The first small win was like, yay, you touched the water, and then the next time it was like letting the water run over his face, like, yay, not a big deal, and then all of a sudden bath time was way easier. And then it's slowly, every single time we get that little bit of progress, next thing you know, I have a swimmer and I feel confident about my child knows how to swim. He knows how to fall into the water. He knows, but it took celebrating all those tiny little wins at the beginning. Same thing happens with you. So when you first started yoga, or when you're getting back into it, or you're trying power yoga for the first time, or just getting back into it, you might find that it is extremely challenging mentally and physically to do some of these poses. And if you stopped yourself right then and there and said, nope, 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 well, do you think you'll ever experience any progress? Do you think you'll ever get to the point where the plank is something that you actually are like, that was fine. That was kind of easy. I think I might have enjoyed that. You need to start where you are, push yourself through the challenge, and then celebrate that win, and then do it again the next day, and do it again the next day, and build that consistency in as you see progress, and you continue to challenge yourself. And the best way that I think that you can do that is if following a program. And as a yoga teacher and as the person that knows like all of my yoga videos and the power yoga and what power yoga videos you should start with, what power yoga videos that you can use to progress with, and what power yoga videos you can use at the end, like your deep end, to really challenge you, I'd love to do the programming for you. And I have. I created the Tone Yoga programs. You probably heard me talk about the original Tone Yoga program, which was this one. I created this one quite a while ago, and it is 10 minutes of power yoga a day for 10 days. And the purpose of this program was to help you get into yoga. It was for the level 1 yogi who either has never done power yoga, or for the yogi who is like, I need to get back into yoga and power yoga, but like, I don't know my wrists. I don't know. That 10 minutes a day has a huge effect on your body. But I know that this only gets you so far. And I made this and used this after my postnatal yoga. So you guys know that I have like a whole postnatal section, but what happens after that? What happens after you're done with like your beginner level yoga or your postnatal yoga or your post-surgery yoga? How do you get back into it? This is what I created to answer that, was the original Tone Yoga program, 10 minutes a day for 10 days straight. Just like Lynette said in the comments, Just because it's 10 minutes, don't assume it's easy. It's not. It's going to challenge you, because with the challenge, you're going to see growth, you're going to see progress. And with doing it every day, you're going to have that consistency to progress even further. And I just created the Tone 2.0. So that's 20 minutes of yoga a day for 20 days straight. So this is like that level 2. This is for the yogi that has done power yoga, but is like, I want to take it to the next level. I want to get strong. I want to get toned. I want to challenge myself. 20 minutes of power yoga a day for 20 days. The part of the programming here that's really the secret sauce is that you're not hitting full body every single day for 20 days. You're working through different parts of your body throughout different parts of the program. Yes, you can do this on your own, and you can create your own program with the YouTube channel and I don't even know how many power yoga videos I have there. So you can do this yourself. But if you want a professional and expert to curate a program for you, if you want something that is made to like say, hey, let's go touch the water and celebrate that. And then let's get you to put the water on your face. And let's get you to go into the shallow section. Let's get you into the deep end. And I can guide you through the whole thing. Then definitely come and join me for the Tone Yoga program, because it has got everything you need to feel strong and toned with the 2 different calendars, the Tone original calendar to meet you where you're at, or the Tone 2.0 to meet you where you're at, regardless of where your strength and flexibility, where your confidence in your power yoga is. And just to be completely honest with you, I personally would start with the 10-minute tone calendar. That's where I'm at in my practice. Just because at one point in my life, I was able to film the Beachbody yoga collection for you. And at one point in my life, I was doing arm balances like crazy. It doesn't mean that I've maintained that fitness level throughout my entire life. You're going to ebb and flow. And your yoga practice is not like a straight line going, in a diagonal section going up. You're going to ebb and flow in your practice, and you're going to ebb and flow in your life and in your strength and your flexibility. And so that's why using either one of these to meet you where you're at, the original Tone or the Tone 2.0, you can really work with your body and build your strength up. And also, what I just mentioned, I included a level up guide. So this is exactly what I would do if I were to do the Tone Yoga program myself. I would start with the level 1, the original Tone, the 10-minute, 10-day Tone Yoga program. I would start with that program, and I would honestly, and I'm being completely fair and completely honest with you, I would do the entire 10 days with all of the modifications. Me, personally, my practice right now, I would get on my mat and I would do every one of those videos for 10 days straight with all of the modifications. And that's what I recommend that you do when you follow the Level Up program, because you're going to go from there to then doing a second round of the first calendar. So repeating it the second time through with fewer modifications. So you're going to feel a familiarity after the first 10 days. You're coming back, you're doing it all over again, but this time you're doing fewer modifications or no modifications, depending on how good you feel. And then after that, you can start the Tone 2.0. This is what I would personally do. 20 minutes a day, 20 days, all modifications. Take it easy. Don't push too hard, just enough, and then you can repeat that again, no modifications. So that's what I would do if I were to do it right now. That's my recommendation on how you enter a program like this too. That's how you can do power yoga without just hurting your wrists and doing strain and punishment on your body. Power yoga is not a punishment. It is a celebration of your wins. It's a celebration of your strength. And it's a way that you can feel strong and toned and confident in your body, in your mind, and in your yoga practice. And so I don't want you to feel scared of the pink thumbnails. The pink thumbnails are an amazing opportunity for you to bring in the mindfulness, to bring in the focus, the stress relieving qualities of yoga, and also to challenge yourself and push your boundaries and give you everything that you need to get fit and toned with yoga. So if you are interested in the Tone Yoga program, I just updated it with the Tone 2.0 calendar as well. I've also included 6 stretching videos that you can use because I very much encourage that you listen to your body and replace one of those videos with a stretch video if you're feeling strained or sore or you just need a break. Listen to your body, do a stretch video. I also added 2 full-length yoga classes in case you just want to challenge yourself and see where you're at with the 45-minute strength and tone class. Oh my gosh, it is hard though. So I got to warn you, do all the modifications. Or you can do the 60-minute full body yoga stretch just to feel good. And if you are interested in the Tone Yoga program as a whole, you can definitely check it out by clicking the first link pinned in the comment of this video, which will take you to the Sarah Beth Yoga app. It's all within the Sarah Beth Yoga app. And I'm also making it available so that if you don't want to purchase a subscription, you can just buy the Tone Yoga program as a one-off. So if you're ready to get strong and toned with me, then join me in this calendar for your strongest yoga practice yet. I'm very excited to see you there. So now I know that some of you will have some questions. I already see some questions in the comments here, and I have some frequently asked questions that I get all the time related to this subject. So let's go ahead and start getting some questions in the comments and I'll answer them as we go. Again, like I said before, this is our opportunity to truly connect. So go ahead and ask me any questions you've got. I'll do my best to answer as many as I can. The book I just mentioned was Atomic Habits by James Clear. Mel says, love the new shirt. Need to order one soon. So this is a brand new print from Sarah Beth Yoga. And it is, we just launched it to the members first. So it's got the Sarah Beth Yoga on the back, which is nice because then you can find each other in the wild. On the front, it says Santosha. Santosha, if you've been with me for a while, it's a very meaningful Sanskrit niyama for feeling content with the now. Being happy with this moment exactly as it is without wanting or needing anything more. Like my camera didn't work. This camera right here. That's the webcam. Gives you really good quality, not working. For some reason, there's a camo thing in the corner. Like things are not working perfectly today, but instead of me getting hung up on that, I like to think and remind myself of Santosha. I've got it tattooed on my Achilles to remind myself that be happy in this moment exactly as it is without wanting or needing anything more. That is true peace. It is true content. And funny thing is my mom saw my my tattoo. I'm Indian, if you didn't know. And my mom saw the tattoo on my Achilles and she speaks Hindi and Kachi and she read it and she goes, why does your leg say enough? Because Hindi, Kachi, Sanskrit, they're all like these dialects, right? So there's a lot of similarities in languages. And so she was reading it and she was like, why does it say enough? I'm like, it's actually Sanskrit for basically enough. Yeah. Content with the now, mom. It means content with the now without wanting or needing anything more. Yeah, it means enough. That works for me. All right, let's see. Wynn asked, this is all on the app, right? Everything about the Tone Yoga program is on the app. Everything I mentioned, all of these calendars are in the app. You can print the calendars and you can download the videos. And all of that is in the app. It's also, when you log into the app and you get access to the app, you can then access that same app on your TV, on your Roku, through your website, like the member portal on your computer. So you get access to it everywhere as well. Ruth said, your videos in your book have truly impacted my life. I love that so much because that is why I do what I do is I want to have a positive impact. I want to somehow for my experience to blossom and bloom into something that can help others too. If you've read my book, then you've read my life story, basically. This is my book right here in case you're wondering what I'm talking about. Trauma Alchemy by Sarah Beth Yoga. So you can find this on Amazon. And this is a memoir mashup. So it tells my entire story, my entire childhood trauma story. I'm careful about trauma dumping, though. There is a section of the book that has a trigger warning so that you can make the choice for yourself if you want to continue reading that specific chapter. Um, and it takes all of the lessons and all of the experience of my life, and it brings it into basically a yoga sequence of a way that you can look at your life and begin the process of healing from the trauma, the stress, or the hardship that you feel has been holding you back. Jennifer asks, can toning yoga be used with weight or resistance band training? So yes, it can. There, you'll see if you look at local yoga studios that a lot of places are adding weights to yoga, and they're calling it like yoga sculpt or sculpting yoga or warrior yoga. I'm not a huge fan of it personally because I feel like if you're going to lift weights, go lift weights. And you can bring your yoga to that by being mindful of your breath, of where you're using your breath, because you really need to make sure you have really good abdominal pressure when you're lifting weights. So you can bring even Arnold Schwarzenegger talked about when he did yoga, how much it benefited his weightlifting because of the breathing and the mindfulness. So if you're going to lift weights, go lift weights. And I lift weights. So I am a huge proponent of that. If you're going to do yoga, do yoga. If you find that using weights with yoga and doing those classes is still giving you all the benefits of yoga that you love, then by all means, go for it. That's your practice. And I love that for you. Just be mindful and be careful that you're not pushing yourself too hard, that you are pushing through strain and injury. You want to prevent strain and injury as much as possible throughout your yoga practice so that you can have that consistency in your practice. So you don't have to constantly be taking time off to recover from strains and injuries and then coming back and starting from the foundation, from the ground level to build back up again, and or only to get hurt again. And that's the reason why I don't like adding the weights to the yoga practice itself. That was my personal experience. That doesn't mean it's going to be your experience. It's just kind of a warning to just be very mindful of. If you're going to add weight, resistance bands to your yoga practice, that you need to be that much more mindful that you are not leading yourself to injury or strain. So that much more mindful of your modifications, of your body's awareness, of your body's boundaries, of your joints' abilities, of strain, exhaustion, all of those things. So be very, very mindful. Bring even more yoga to your yoga. I'm trying to get back into yoga. Where do I start? I do one and struggle with getting the form right or wobble with balance. And this causes me not to want to move on to a different video. So first of all, everything that you just mentioned, not feeling like you got the form right, wobbling with balance, totally normal. You do not need to be perfect to do yoga. I don't want perfect. I want yoga practice, not yoga perfect. So I would say if you're getting back into it, to start with the beginner to yogi program, which is in the Sarah Beth Yoga app. But if you want to do it completely free, you can do the beginner yoga challenge on the Sarah Beth Yoga YouTube channel where you're at now. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you go to the homepage of my YouTube channel, youtube.com/SarahBethYoga. You scroll down a little bit, you'll see a playlist for the beginner yoga challenge. And it's 10-minute yoga videos for 7 days. And those videos will help you with your form because I'm going to take you back to the basics. I'm going to put you in the shallow section with me when it comes to yoga in general. And I put so much effort into this program to make it actually for beginners. I took my in-laws and I brought them to the living room and I said, I'm making a new program. I'd like to test it on you. And oh my gosh, I love them so much because they were like, okay. And then that's when I learned that what I was doing was still not there yet. And so I continued to add more and more modifications, more and more different kinds of cues in order to meet their bodies. And that's what I made this beginner yoga program out of. Now, I would use the beginner yoga videos, those beginner yoga challenge, beginner yoga program. It's all kind of the same thing. You'll see that as you get into it. I would use those videos myself if I was getting back into it, because you've got to train your body and the foundation of your body. Otherwise, if you go too far, too fast, too soon, you might be risking injury or even overcompensation, which you might not recognize right away. Because overcompensation is very similar to when you're driving a car with poor alignment. I'm not a car person, so forgive me on this one, okay? My brother is a huge car person. He's going to be mad I even brought this up. But imagine you were driving a car and the wheels were off, the alignment was off. You can get from where you want to go to where you want it. Like, you can do A to B. You can drive that car, right? You can get there. You can even do a road trip, maybe. You might actually like lose a wheel on the road trip. You might actually get hurt. But at some point, you're going to cause damage to that car because you've been driving with poor alignment that whole time. Same thing with your body when it comes to your yoga practice. You can overcompensate and you can get away with it for quite a long time in your yoga practice until you can't get away with it anymore. And that means you've gotten injury, strain, something's happening that you're recognizing, oh my gosh, I've been compensating the whole time. I recognized it in myself. I was overcompensating to make the yoga look even more like yoga on camera, because I'm not like an Instagram yogi, right? I'm not over here like throwing up like the most beautiful yoga poses ever. I really try not to pressure myself that that's what yoga is, because I don't believe that my practice has to do that to be good. So when I get on camera to do yoga, I'm just trying to do my best to make sure that what I'm doing is the pose. But sometimes I tend to overcompensate by twisting a little too hard, by like torquing myself into the pose. And I will feel that later. It's like part of my own practice on camera to recognize, okay, you did it again. Let's not do that. It's okay that my twists aren't as twisty as I want them to look on camera. So start with the beginner yoga videos, definitely. Mel asks, when is the Tone 2.0 getting uploaded to the app? It's already in the app, in the Tone Yoga program. So I updated the Tone Yoga program itself and added the Tone 2.0 calendar to it. I completely updated the program like as it is. So you'll just go there and you'll find that. Oh, and you guys in the comments are already letting her know. Thank you. I love that so much about our community, about the Sarah Beth Yoga community, about all of you, is that you all tend to help each other as much as I wish I could help you too, because I can't be everywhere all the time. So the fact that we're actually creating a community is like the most important thing to me. I love it so much. Matt said, just a comment. I started beginner to yogi and I'm on week 3. I'm overweight / type 2 diabetic and can already see positive changes after 3 weeks. Looking forward to getting healthier. Matt, I love that. Well done and congratulations. Way to celebrate your win. And as you celebrate those wins, you're going to find more and more wins to celebrate as you go, and keep celebrating with us. If you're not in our SBY community Facebook group, I'd love for you to join us there, because that is where we do celebrate wins like this, and we can help support you and cheer you on along the way. So we have a question: best way to incorporate yoga when training for a 10K? So I have a video. It's very old. You'll tell when you open it up and you see me. I'll be like 10 years younger. And in this video, I talk about how to pair yoga with your workouts, because I thoroughly believe you can do both. And I've been doing both for my whole life. I'm not like, yoga is it. Yoga is the answer. Yoga is the cure. Yoga is a supplement to your lifestyle. And for me, my lifestyle includes a lot of different kinds of fitness. So watch that video, which is in the yoga tips playlist. And you'll find that I am going to explain, basically, I'll just like narrow it down for you here, is you can use yoga as your warm-up, because the mobility in the vinyasa yoga can help you to warm up your body with dynamic movement. I just got Invisalign, so sometimes I feel like I'm not saying things properly. That's the Invisalign talking, not me. So I actually have a very specific yoga warm up for athletes. And if you go to my yoga for athletes playlist, it might even be called like pre and post workout yoga for athletes. There's one that has like a gray short sleeve t-shirt and black shorts. And I created a couple of videos that were pre and post workouts. The pre-workout is a dynamic warm-up that is meant to move your spine all 6 ways. It's meant to target all of the areas of your body, and it's 8 minutes long. And it's a flow, and it's a flow that you're going to repeat 3 times. And I created it using knowledge as a chiropractic assistant, because I was a chiropractic assistant before I went full-time as a yoga teacher. And so I took some of that mobility focused, functional movement focused movement, and I brought it into yoga. And I knew that as an athlete, you're going to need even more than just like, let's just flow. So you're going to move your body all the ways that you need to. So I'd love for you to try that video as your warm up, and then do yoga as your cool down. And that way, when you're stretching out after you're done training, you're targeting muscles, but you're not resting too long into them. Like, you're going to have some guidance on what to do, where to stretch, how long to be there, how to be mindful through that process, how to breathe through it, how to feel like you're breathing into those muscles so that you can release some of that tension. And that way you're going to get some of that lactic acid moving as well. And you can even use yoga on your recovery days. So I did create a yoga for athletes collection. It's in the collections on Sarah Beth Yoga, Yoga for Athletes in the app, or you can find it in the playlist here on YouTube. And everything that's on YouTube, there's like double the amount in the app that is exclusive. So you're going to see some of those videos on YouTube. Within some of those videos on YouTube, you can use those as your recovery day, or you can go to the app and use like the full length 60-minute videos for your recovery days as well. Oh, I love that. You just listen to all the podcast interviews I've done. Podcasts are interesting because I feel like I bear my heart in podcasts, but I feel like they don't really get listened to. So it's like this weird vulnerability thing. Have any of you, the rest of you, have any of you listened to any podcasts with me? And if you have, let me know in the comments. If you haven't, you can search Sarah Beth Yoga in the podcast app and you'll find all of the podcast interviews. I don't run a podcast. I'm an introvert. Did I mention that? So I don't run a podcast, but I've got a few interviews that I have done for other people, including one I think is coming out next week. I think it's coming out next week with my friend Brett Larkin. So Brett Larkin Yoga just launched her podcast again, and so we've got one coming out very soon. So I'll make sure that I can share that with you when it comes. Now, let me share with you a couple of the frequently asked questions on this topic before we call it a day. And the first question is, do you have to do a full hour of yoga? Do you have to do 30 minutes of yoga? Do you have to do 60 minutes of yoga in order to get the benefit of it and feel like you're getting strong and toned? And I'm sure you know the answer to this one, which is no, you do not have to do a full hour of yoga to gain the benefits from yoga. 5 minutes a day is better for you than 1 hour once a week. It is all about the consistency. If you can consistently do an hour of yoga several times a week, then whatever floats your boat. But I know that when I did that, I experienced more injuries than I've ever experienced before. I had to do that when I went through my yoga teacher training. That was like 12 years ago. So it must have been like a different era of yoga. But at that time, you had to go to yoga classes every day. And I experienced more injuries than I ever have. And that was what had shaped my personal opinion and my opinion as a yoga teacher, that you do not need to do an hour of yoga to gain the benefit of it. All you need to do is have it be a practice that you consistently go back to. And even 5 minutes has a massive effect on whatever it is that you're trying to work towards, especially if you can follow programming so that you're actually working towards something. Now, another question is, can you lose weight with yoga? Yes, you can lose excess weight with yoga if you are intentional about it, even sometimes if you're not intentional about it. The way that you can lose weight with yoga is yoga, like power yoga and vinyasa yoga. It can get you into your zone 1 and your zone 2 heart rates zones. And those are both mostly fat burning zones. And so if you're using yoga to follow like the tone yoga program, then you're going to be in those fat burning heart rate zones for 10 or 20 minutes or so every single day. So you might end up losing weight. The thing is that yoga is not a cure. It's not a magic pill. So if you want to lose weight and you want yoga to be a part of that, and I see you, I get that, because I gained 40 and 50 pounds with both of my kids. And that was not magic baby weight that just melted off. It was weight that I felt on my body. And I thought, all right, I want to feel strong. I like, how do I lose this weight? How do I feel strong? How do I feel mindful? How do I have my yoga practice all at the same time? And that's why I created the tone program. The 10-minute one was so that I could start easing myself into that, because you can use your yoga. You can gain the mindfulness aspect of yoga and the challenge of power yoga, and you can mesh them into the same practice. But like I said, supplement, not a magic pill. So if you actually do want to lose weight, this is just a piece of the entire rest of your lifestyle. Now, if you don't want to lose weight with yoga, then just make sure that you're replenishing yourself, that you're refueling yourself properly, that you are, you know, again, what is the rest of your lifestyle doing for you in your goals? Another question is, do you have to get sweaty or exhausted in order to benefit and get that tone and that strength from yoga? And the answer is no. You don't have to get sweaty. You don't have to do yoga in a sauna. You don't have to do yoga in a hot, heated room. You can, and you'll get a whole different pot of benefits from that. Also, some challenges. You'll need to make sure that you're rehydrating properly, that you're drinking electrolytes, all of that. But you don't have to. So, like me personally, I don't love the idea of like completely needing to take a shower after every single time that I exercise. You don't have to. You can still gain all of these benefits without having to take a full-on shower and redoing your entire skincare routine. That's the amazing part of it, is that you can still challenge yourself. Very much like Pilates. You can build an amazing core with Pilates. And if you're familiar with Pilates, you might be familiar with that I'm bringing a lot of Pilates into my yoga and into the yoga teachings in the power yoga videos specifically. When we're doing core, I'm bringing a lot of Pilates into that too. How can I build a better upper body with yoga? Okay, here's this one. If you want to build better upper body strength, better upper body tone with yoga, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to bring more of that body weight challenge into your upper body. So if you're doing lunges and warriors all day long, do you think your upper body is going to benefit from that? I want you to start looking at arm balances. Arm balances is how you will start to build your upper body strength and tone. My shoulders were the most tone and the strongest when I was doing my arm balances, like on a very regular basis. And I actually have an entire calendar specific to that, the play calendar. So if you really want to do that and you want to work towards that, you can use that. But I've also incorporated some arm balances into the tone yoga program to help you have that balanced out practice. You're going to do lower body and upper body and core all in a very balanced way, so you're not overdoing any body parts at any point throughout the program. Let's see. What if I feel strained? What if my wrists hurt? So, as I mentioned before, strain and injury is common, but that doesn't mean it has to happen. We don't want it to happen. We want to prevent that as much as possible. If you do feel strain in the middle of a yoga practice, then back off. Do not ever push through strain or pain, especially if it's in your joints anywhere in your body. Back off, listen to your body, modify or skip for the rest of the practice. I will be in a yoga class doing the chaturangas, doing all the things. And then halfway through the class, no more chaturangas. No more weight in my hands. They'll be like, everyone go to plank, and I'll find something else to do. I'll find a way to modify that, because you have to listen to your body. Your practice is your practice. It's all about you. Okay. This is your self-care time. So if you feel strain or injury or anything like that in the middle of a yoga practice, stop everything that you're doing that is going to aggravate it further. Just avoid it and let it heal and recover. And that can take days. Sometimes it can take weeks. That doesn't mean that you're not doing yoga during those weeks. It just means that you're modifying your yoga heavily to avoid some of those, whatever the poses are that are putting the strain into something, like if it's your wrists. And if it is your wrists, I've got a ton of wrist videos for you. How to prevent wrist strain, tips for wrist pain, hands-free yoga, standing yoga, ways that you can do yoga without your wrist being involved whatsoever. So you can just look into that a little bit more. Do you have some meditation videos with the sound bowls? I do not yet. I would love to with the sound bowls. I don't know how to get the audio right on that. So if anyone is like a sound engineer, I would love to meet with you to talk about how I could get the audio right using the sound bowls with using the singing bowls with all of my technology in order to get you good sound. I'll play one for you right now. Let me know in the comments, what color would you like me to play for you? We've got red is the root chakra. Root chakra is at your base, and it is for feeling grounded and secure. We've got orange, which is your sacral chakra, which is the seat of your creativity. We've got yellow, solar chakra, seat of confidence, your ego. Green, heart chakra, seat of your love, feeling connection. Got the light blue, which is your throat chakra, which is the seat of your inner truth, speaking your truth. Got this indigo, third eye chakra, seat of your intuition. And we've got the lavender, which is your crown chakra, the seat of your connection to the above. So let me know, what color do you want to hear? And I'll go play it for you. So these ones are from Karma and Luck, which is a store that I love in Las Vegas. If you didn't know, I love Las Vegas. And I love this store in Las Vegas. So these are Tibetan crystal singing bowls. And then these ones are Himalayan singing bowls. And I bought these in India. I was teaching in India with my friend Jack from Happy Jack Yoga. And I bought these at a music shop in Rishikesh, India. So here is the red. And I have no idea how this is going to sound for you, but let's just hope for the best. That's one way to get it to sing. Another way is just to do this. When it comes to your chakra system, you want to work with the base first. You want to go from the ground up. And then I'll just do a quick, oh my gosh. Who did that? I'll just do a very quick of each color. Orange. And that's so nice. Let's do yellow. I mean, I don't even want, I know I told you to ask, but I just feel like I should give them all to you. Yellow, again, the place of your ego, confidence. And if you're leaving right now, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate you being here. I really appreciate taking time to connect with you and you taking time to connect with me. I'm just going to finish out these colors and then we can call it a day. This one, green, heart chakra. This is how you feel connected to others. The seat of your love. Light blue, throat chakra. This is one that I definitely feel is very strong in me. Seat of your speaking your truth. Seat of your inner truth. I do have plans on making a chakra yoga program for you. It's just been a long time in the making. I actually have made it in person and I've taught it in person several times. Indigo is your third eye chakra. Seat of intuition. And the last one is this lavender. It could also be like an iridescent color, not the bowl itself, but the actual chakra. Iridescent like gasoline. And this is your crown chakra. Can be located right here at the top of your head or even like a couple inches above your head. And this is your connection to your faith, your connection to the higher power, something bigger than you. These are one of my favorite sources of meditation, is to meditate on the sound and to sing the bowls. And I learned how to harmonize with the bowls as well. So that's part of my personal meditation practice. And right before I let you go, if you are interested in these bowls at all, I have them linked on my website. Sometimes they're available, sometimes they're not. I do think that these bowls are way easier for beginners than the Himalayan bowls above. Those ones took me a very long time to get used to. They're both beautiful. They're both amazing. I love them both in my practice. All right, so we kind of took a tangent there at the end. But thank you for joining me for today's video, for today's live. To me, the most important part of this was one that I delivered the value that I wanted to give you. I wanted to share with you how you can get tone with yoga. But also, I feel that we connected, that I connected with you, that you were able to connect with me, because it's not often that we actually get to sit with each other and just chat. You know, not often that I get to actually respond to comments in real time, especially when I've been a little bit more held back on like the social media side of things. So thank you for being here. Thank you for engaging with me in the comments. And I am going to go record an SBY Spotlight interview with a friend of mine for a video that's going to come out in about a month or so. She is a therapist. Her name is Amber. And she does ketamine-assisted psychotherapy. So ketamine was a big part of my healing journey. And I wanted to talk about it, and I wanted to bring an expert in to talk about it too. So I'm about to go take her on for an interview, and hopefully I can get like all my technology right when I do that too. So thank you so much for joining me. Have a good rest of your day. One more time, let's take a deep breath in and out. Namaste.